Hello, hello, welcome to my garden once again. A beautiful evening. The sun is shining, no wind, quite mild. This is mid-August and today I will show you the main entrance. Here I have especially many dahlias, but I also have companion plants. I have different container gardens in different places in the garden, and I'm always using the same colors. It means that I have the same color scheme during the season. You maybe remember that I have shown you this place earlier in the season. It started here in the beginning of May with tulips, and there were also apricot, but there were also some orange ones. And maybe you think that orange it's an autumn color, but I think also it's a nice color in the spring. And I would just like to show you for a moment how it was looking in May. When I'm seeing the tulips, I'm really dreaming about spring again. And in short time, in September, we will start to plant the tulip bulbs in pots. We still have some of the same plants here, which we were having together with the tulips. For example, this 9-bark Physocarpus, and this is Amber Jubilee. I think it's such a great plant with amazing foliage, and I can tell that we cut them down to the half in spring, and it means that they will have fresh branches and they will have great foliage, and they will not flower, because if you don't prune them, they will have white flowers, and they are okay, but in this case I don't like the flowers, so we just cut them down. I think that foliage plants, they are just beautiful and great together with the dahlias. I like to use them together with companion plants, and I have some more to show you, but now I will show you some of my favorite dahlias. And this one, this is Mr. Franz, and I think it's such a beautiful flower, and you can see there are so many buds. Mr. Franz is a so-called water lily dahlias. There are many different forms, and one form which is very spectacular is this one. This is a cactus dahlia, and this cactus dahlia is called, have the name Preference. There are also single flowering dahlias, and I would like to show you this one. This is such a beauty. See this? And this is a quite low dahlia. The variety name here is Happy Single Kiss. And you can try to Google Happy Single, because Happy Single is the name of Acer. You can get Happy Single Date, Happy Single Kiss, and I think there may be 6-7 different varieties in this series. And the great thing with this dahlia is that it's a quite low dahlia, and it means that you don't need to support them in the pots. One more beautiful dahlia is this. This is Jowey Winnie, and this is a ball dahlia, and you can see the flower is so delicate. It's really a favorite. But I have said that I would like to talk a little bit more about foliage plants, and there are especially one foliage plant I just love to use together with the dahlias, and this is Coleus. There are many great varieties. This is called Wall Street, and I think the foliage here is just amazing. And I have different varieties which I will show you in a moment. And maybe you remember that in June I was showing how Preben, my gardener, and I, we were arranging the pots here. It's almost unbelievable to see how it was looking in June, and I will just like to show you a little piece of video. Hope that you will watch here. I'm getting many questions about how I'm feeding the dahlias and also the container plants in general. And I can tell you that I'm using slow release fertilizer. I just add it to the soil in the spring, and it means that you don't need to feed the plants during the seasons. There are different varieties of fertilizer, but you can also add it when you water. But it's quite important with fertilizing. It's quite important, especially when you're talking about the dahlias. People also ask me about the watering, if we are having a watering system, but we don't. We water by hand, and you can see we just have a tool like this, and then we just water the pots one by one. And of course it's quite a job when you have so many containers as I have here, but I have great help in my garden. My two gardeners, they are helping, and I can tell you, on a hot day, it takes around 8 to 10 hours to water all the pots. It also do that on a cold day, but it means when you have a hot day, a hot period, you need to water every day, but I just love my container plantings. People also ask me about how I am planting the tubers in the containers. In the spring, I will talk much more about that, but until then, I would like to show you some more of the dahlia varieties. The last question I would like to answer is also, what do we do with the tubers in the winter? Do we leave them in the pots or do we dig them up? Yes, we dig them up because we also need space for all the pots, and if we just leave the tubers in the soil, we can't stock the pots. And also the problem is that if the soil is too wet when you place them in a place where you don't have frost. You probably know that dahlias tubers, they will die if they get frost. The best temperature is around 5 to 10 degrees. But we dig them up and then we place them in the garage. But later in the season, in some weeks' time, I will just show you how we winter store the dahlias. Thank you so much for watching.